The Arabic Holy Quran, revealed upon the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, during the years 609 to 632 CE, is divided into 114 chapters, of which 86 chapters revealed in Mecca, 28 chapters revealed in the Medina. The chapters revealed in Mecca deals mainly in the Islamic creed. Example, belief in Allah, the Omnipresent and the Eternal, His angels, His books, His messengers, resurrection and judgment day, and the divine preordained good and bad. Total chapter revealed in the Medina deals mainly in moral principles, legislations, community development, and warfare. The Holy Quran can only be read and recited in its original revealed Arabic language. Quran chapter 31, Luqman. Revelation place Mecca. Revelation order 57, number of verses 34. As mentioned before, the chapters revealed in Mecca deals mainly in the Islamic creed. Example, believe in Allah, the Omnipresent and the Eternal, His angels, His books, His messengers, resurrection and judgment day, and the divine preordained good and bad. Luqman is also known as Luqman the Wise. He was a wise man or a sage who lived 1100 BC. He is believed to have been from Nubia or from Egypt. The Quran does not state whether Luqman was a prophet or not. As an example, if Allah does not guide us, we will never find out. See verse 1 interpretation in Luqman, Alif Lam Mim. Alif Lam Mim. These are the signs of the wise book, guidance and mercy to the improvers, who keep up prayers and bring alms, and they of the hereafter they are sure. Those are on guidance from their God, and those are the fruitful. And among the people who by distracting speech to stray away from Allah's path without knowing, and takes it for a mockery, for those a painful torments. And when our verses are recited upon them, he turns away in arrogance and as if he had not heard them, as if in his ears heavy deafness, so preach to him a painful torment. And those who believed and did righteous deed, for them paradise of bliss, abiding in it eternally, Allah's true promise, and He is the Almighty, All-Wise. Created the heavens without pillars you can see, and cast it down in the earth's anchorage, that it would not tilt with you, and propagated in it from every pounding, and brought down from the sky water, and grew in it from every pair what is generous and decent. This is Allah's creation, so show me what created those other than Him. Indeed, the unjust are in a clear stray. We brought to Luqman the wisdom, be thankful to Allah, and whoever is thankful to Allah is thankful to himself. And whoever disbelieves, then Allah is all sufficient, all praised. And when Luqman said to his son, admonishing him, my son, don't partner with Allah. Indeed, partnering is a great injustice. And we entrusted to the human their parents, carried him his mother, weakness upon weakness, and his weaning in 2 years. And thank to me and to your parents, and to me is your destiny. And if they strive you to partner with me, that of which you have no knowledge, don't obey them, and accompany them in this world with what is common, and follow the path of those who were reprimanded to me. Then to me will all be your return. Then I shall announce to you all what you used to do. O my son, if it is a weight of mustard seed in a rock or in heavens or in the earth, Allah will bring it. Indeed, Allah is gentle and knowledgeable. O my son, establish prayer and command with what is commonly right, and forbid what is renounced, and be patient on what struck you. Surely these are among the determined affairs. And don't fret your cheeks toward people, and don't walk in the earth frisky. Indeed, Allah does not love every swash proud. Pace modestly, subdue your voice. Indeed, the most renowned sound is the sound of the donkeys. Don't you see that Allah subjected to you what is in the heavens and in the earth, and died upon you His blessing apparent and internal? And among the people who argues about Allah with no knowledge, nor guidance, nor an enlightening book. And if told to them, follow what Allah has brought down, they say, rather we follow what we found our parents upon, as if Satan was inviting them to the torment of blaze. And whoever surrender his face to Allah while he is a well-doer, then he has grasped the trustworthy handle, and to Allah is the sequel of all orders. And who disbelieved, don't grieve for his disbelief. To us their return, to inform them of what they have done. Indeed, Allah is all-knowing of what the self holds in the chest. Will grant them little enjoyment, then will obligate them to massive torment. And if you ask them, who created the heavens and the earth, they will say Allah. Say, praise to Allah, but most of them don't know. To Allah belongs what in the heavens and the earth. Indeed, Allah is the sufficient, the praiseworthy. If what in the earth of all trees turned into pens, and the sea stretched by thereafter 7 seas, Allah's words will not be exhausted. Indeed, Allah is mighty and wise. Neither your creation nor your resurrection, but as one soul. Allah is hearing, seeing. Have you not seen that Allah shifts the night in the day and shifts the day in the night, and subjected the sun and the moon all streaming to a specified time? And Allah is all aware of what you do. This is because Allah is the truth, and that what they call upon of lower than Him is falsehood, and Allah is all high, all great. Have you not seen that ship streams in the sea by Allah's grace, to show you some of His signs, and in that sign for every steadfast, patient, and grateful? And when the waves overlaid them like shades, they called to Allah, faithful to His religion. When He saved them to the shore, then among them are the frugal, and none denies our signs except every treacherous disbeliever. O people, be pious to your God, and fear a day when no parents can ransom their child, nor a child can ransom his parents with anything. Indeed, Allah's promise is just, so don't let this lowery life ego you, and don't be egoed against Allah by the egoist. Indeed, Allah has the knowledge of the hour, and sent down the rain, and knows what is in the uterus, while the soul does not perceive what it will earn tomorrow, nor in which land it will die. Indeed, Allah is all-knowing, all-knowledgeable. Quran chapter 31, Luqman. Revelation place Mecca. Revelation order 57. Number of verses 34. Verse 1. Alif Lam Mim. A lot of speculations and opinions on these standalone letters/words. They are at the start of selected Quran chapters. They are not part of a sentence that can guide us to understand their meaning or compare them to other similar sentences in the Quran, nor these standalone letter words are continuation to other chapters that can give us insight in their meaning. Usually, when a word is part of a sentence and that word is new or has multiple meanings, to better understand it, meaning it helps to compare it when it appears again in the Quran. And by comparing them, we can better understand the meaning of that word. But these standalone letters are not part of any sentence, even if repeated, they are still standalone. Despite they are letters in the form of words, no one could explain their meaning over the century, since Allah did not guide us to their meaning like other new or unfamiliar words in the Quran. To put things in perspective, the Arabic language has around 12 million words versus the English language around 600,000 words. For example, there are over 200 Arabic words for the English word lion. My personal view is without Allah's guidance, nothing can be understood. So these letters or standalone letters should be an example of our dependency on Allah's guidance in our life and via His straight path, the Quran. And Allah knows best. Verse 2 to 5. These are the signs, means the verses of the wise book, means a precise to the point speech of wisdom with no loose ends. Guidance and mercy to the improvers. The improvers are the well-doers that do well above the basic commanded by Allah, who keep up prayers and bring willingly alms, which is the Islamic charity for social justice, and they of the hereafter, they are sure, mean they're always doubtless of meeting Allah. So those are on guidance from their God, mean guidance by God who created them, raised them, and knows best what's best for them. And those are the fruitful in this world and the hereafter. Verse 6 and 7. And among the people who by distracting speech mean meaningless to mislead and divert, to stray himself and other away from Allah's path without knowledge, mean buying a losing deal and don't even have enough knowledge on how to distract, and takes it, the speech and also Allah's path, for a mockery, for those a painful torment. And when our verses are recited upon him, he turns away, he offers his back, in arrogance, as if he had not heard them, and as if in his ears heavy deafness. So preach, usually good news, but in this case preach mockery, to him a painful torment. Verses 8 to 11. And those who believed and did righteous deed, for them paradise of bliss, abiding in it eternally, Allah's true promise. This is a promise for the righteous, justified right, non-preventable. And He is the Almighty, All-Wise, means Allah is the only judge. Created the heavens without pillars you can see, either has no pillars or you cannot see them, and cast it down, found it deep down, into the earth's anchorage, means stakes, underground part of the mountain, that it would not, mean the earth, tilt, shift or sway with you, and propagated, means spread in it from every pounding, means walking, crawling, moving, pulsing, living, and brought down from the sky water and grew in it from every pair what is generous and decent, mean proper and noble. This is Allah's creation. So show me what created those other than Him. Indeed the unjust to themselves and others, are in a clear stray. Verse 12 and 13. And we have brought, inspired to Luqman, the sage from Nubia or Egypt, the wisdom. So be thankful to Allah. The ultimate wisdom is that you recognize Allah, the source of all things. And whoever is thankful to Allah is thankful to himself. His self will be free, example from tyranny, and will reap the benefit of his thankfulness in this world and hereafter. And whoever disbelieve, deny and refuse, then Allah is all sufficient, in no need, and He is praised. And when Luqman said to his son, admonishing him, giving him friendly, earnest fatherly advice, my son, don't associate partners with Allah. Indeed, partnering with Allah is a great injustice. It's an injustice to yourself and others as you become a slave or follower to who or what is equal to you and who was created by Allah. And by worshipping other false deity than Allah, you also forfeit Allah's mercy and guidance. Verses 14 and 15. And we entrusted the humans to their parents, carried him his mother weakness upon weakness, means getting weaker, fragile during pregnancy, and his weaning in 2 years. And thank to me and to your parents, and to me is your destiny, inevitable fate of all parents and children back to Allah. And if they, your parents, strive you, effortlessly, relentlessly pressure you to partner with me, that of which you have no knowledge, means another deity or anything, don't obey them and accompany them, stay close to them in this world with what is common, to be kind to parents, grateful and righteous, and follow the path of those who are reprimanded by their parents and chose to stay with Allah. To me means reprimanded back to Allah. Then to me will all be your return. Then I shall announce to you all what you used to do. Example, children's good deed to their parents and parents' deeds for disobeying Allah. Verses 16 to 19. O my son, if it is a weight of mustard seed in a rock or in the heavens or in the earth, Allah will bring it. Indeed, Allah is gentle and knowledgeable. O my son, establish prayer. Keep up and maintain connection with Allah, not only by performing prayers at this time, and command with what is commonly right, kindness for good for all, and forbid what is renounced by Allah, and be patient on what struck you, coming your way of hardship like an arrow inflicted by destiny from Allah, as an atonement or a test, or harm inflicted by other, usually for being righteous, but all is done with Allah's permission. Surely these advices are among the determined affairs, must do things that requires courage, determination and resolution. And don't fret your cheeks, means twist your cheek in arrogance, toward people, and don't walk in the earth frisky, jubilant, cheerfully. Indeed, Allah does not love every swash proud, vainglorious, self-important, wiggling, proud person. Pace modestly means walk model, straighten your pace and intention. Subdue, lower, curtail your voice, sufficient for the listener. Indeed, the most renowned sounds is the sound of the donkeys. Verse 20-21. Don't you see that Allah subjected to you what is in the heavens and in the earth, and died, mean embedded in you, upon you His blessing, apparent and internal, mean physically visible or hidden, and among the people who argues about Allah with no knowledge, nor guidance, nor an enlightening book. And if told to them, follow what Allah has brought down, mean Allah's books, they say, rather, we follow what we found our parents upon, as if Satan was inviting them to the torment of blades. Their self is what causing disobedience to Allah, not Satan. So don't blame Satan, blame yourselves. Verses 22-26. And whoever surrender his face to Allah while he is a well-doer, then he has grasped the trustworthy handle. It's that balance that will pull you to Allah away from the desire of oneself and luring of Satan. And to Allah is the sequel of all orders. And who disbelieved, don't grieve. He's addressing Muhammad, peace be upon him, for his disbelief. To us their return, both the believer and the disbeliever, to inform them of what they have done. Indeed, Allah is all-knowing of what the self holds in the chest. It means deep down in the chest, in the heart. Will grant them, the disbeliever, little enjoyment in this world, then will obligate them, will compel them to massive torment. And if you ask them who created the heavens and the earth, they will say Allah. Say, praise to Allah. But most of them don't know. To Allah belongs what's in the heavens and the earth. Indeed, Allah is the sufficient, the praiseworthy. Verses 27 to 30. If rather what in the earth of all trees are turned into pens, and the sea stretched as replenishing ink by thereafter 7 seas, Allah's word will not be exhausted. This will not be sufficient for Allah's word if all the seas and the trees are turned into pen and ink. Indeed, Allah is mighty and wise. Neither your creation nor your resurrection, but as a one soul. It's effortless for Allah. It's like Adam's soul, just created by the word be, so he became. Allah is hearing, seeing, means he's knowing everything. Have you not seen that Allah shifts the night in the day? The night acquires from the day, takes over the day. So the night increase and the day decrease in an ongoing motion, and simultaneously shifts the day in the night and subjected the sun and the moon. It's a precise motion of sun and moon to labor and serve human. All means sun, moon, and everything. Streaming means running, being operating as designed by Allah to a specified time, to the end of time, or also to help humans measuring day, months, year, and doing math, and etc. And Allah is all aware, knowledgeable, and expert of what you do. Allah is omnipresent, and He's always managing all we know, all we do. That's because Allah is the truth, true and just creator, and that what they call upon, which means invoke partners beside Allah, of lower than Him, is falsehood. That because there can only be one truth and a lot of falsehoods. And Allah is the all high, all great. Verse 31 and 32. Have you not seen that ships stream in the sea by Allah's grace to show you some of His signs? And in those signs for every steadfast, patient, and grateful. So be hardworking, steady like the ship in Allah's path. Be thankful and patient will lead to more signs and more guidance from Allah. And when the waves overlay them, means cover the sailors and contain them, like shades, like dark shades, they call to Allah. They pray, they invoke Allah, even the disbeliever do. Faithful to his religion, loyal to Allah only. Usually in danger, ego vanishes and frightened soul tends to see the truth that can save it. But when He saved them to the shore, mean outside of their hardship, then among them are the frugal. Some of them become stingy on their promises and back out of it in their belief in Allah. They become wishy-washy in faith. And none denies our signs, mean completely denies our favor by attributing it to other than Allah, except every treacherous disbeliever, means ungrateful. 33 and 34. O people, be pious to your God, means fend yourself from His punishment by obeying Him for what He gave you, or all people. And fear, dread humbly, submissively, a day when no parents can ransom their child, nor a child can ransom his parents with anything. Indeed, Allah's promise is just. Promise of Judgment Day is the truth. And when it happens, everyone gets their own share of their deeds. So don't let this lowery, means this worldly life, ego you, means elude you, feed your ego. Be proud with this lowery current life. And don't be egoed, mean be gilded against Allah by the egoist. The egoist is Satan, the deceiver, who feeds on your ego. Indeed, Allah has the knowledge of the hour, death of each person and end of days, and send down the rain, and knows what is in the uterus, while the soul does not perceive or know what it will earn tomorrow, nor in which land it will die. Indeed, Allah is all-knowing, all-knowledgeable.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم تلك آيات الكتاب الحكيم هدى ورحمة للمحسنين الذين يقيمون الصلاة ويؤتون الزكاة وهم بالآخرة هم يوقنون أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون ومن الناس من يشتري لهو الحديث ليضل عن سبيل الله بغير علم ويتخذها هزوا أولئك لهم عذاب مهين وإذا تتلى عليه آياتنا ولى مستكبرا كأن لم يسمعها كأن في أذنيه وقرا فبشره بعذاب أليم إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات لهم جنات النعيم خالدين فيها وعد الله حقا وهو العزيز الحكيم خلق السماوات بغير عمد ترونها وألقى في الأرض رواسي أن تميد بكم وبث فيها من كل دابة وأنزلنا من السماء ماء فأنبتنا فيها من كل زوج كريم هذا خلق الله فأروني ماذا خلق الذين من دونه بل الظالمون في ضلال مبين ولقد آتينا لقمان الحكمة أن اشكر لله ومن يشكر فإنما يشكر لنفسه ومن كفر فإن الله غني حميد وإذ قال لقمان لابنه وهو يعظه يا بني لا تشرك بالله إن الشرك لظلم عظيم ووصينا الإنسان بوالديه حملته أمه وهنا على وهن وفصاله في عامين وفصاله في عامين أن اشكر لي ولوالديك إلي المصير وإن جاهداك على أن تشرك بي ما ليس لك به علم فلا تطعهما وصاحبهما في الدنيا معروفا واتبع سبيل من أناب إلي ثم إلي مرجعكم فأنبئكم بما كنتم تعملون يا بني إنها إن تك مثقال حبة من خردل فتكن في صخرة أو في السماوات أو في الأرض يأت بها الله إن الله لطيف خبير يا بني أقم الصلاة وأمر بالمعروف وانه عن المنكر واصبر على ما أصابك إن ذلك من عزم الأمور ولا تصعر خدك للناس ولا تمش في الأرض مرحا إن الله لا يحب كل مختال فخور واقصد في مشيك واغضض من صوتك إن أنكر الأصوات لصوت الحمير ألم تروا أن الله سخر لكم ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وأسبغ عليكم نعمه ظاهرة وباطنة ومن الناس من يجادل في الله بغير علم ولا هدى ولا كتاب منير وإذا قيل لهم اتبعوا ما أنزل الله قالوا بل نتبع ما وجدنا عليه آباءنا أولو كان الشيطان يدعوهم إلى عذاب السعير ومن يسلم وجهه إلى الله وهو محسن فقد استمسك بالعروة الوثقى وإلى الله عاقبة الأمور ومن كفر فلا يحزنك كفره إلينا مرجعهم فننبئهم بما عملوا إن الله عليم بذات الصدور نمتعهم قليلا ثم نضطرهم إلى عذاب غليظ ولئن سألتهم من خلق السماوات والأرض ليقولن الله قل الحمد لله بل أكثرهم لا يعلمون لله ما في السماوات والأرض إن الله هو الغني الحميد ولو أن ما في الأرض من شجرة أقلام والبحر يمده من بعده 7 أبحر ما نفدت كلمات الله إن الله عزيز حكيم ما خلقكم ولا بعثكم إلا كنفس واحدة إن الله سميع بصير ألم تر أن الله يولج الليل في النهار ويولج النهار في الليل وسخر الشمس والقمر كل يجري إلى أجل مسمى وأن الله بما تعملون خبير ذلك بأن الله هو الحق وأن ما يدعون من دونه الباطل وأن الله هو العلي الكبير ألم تر أن الفلك تجري في البحر بنعمة الله ليريكم من آياته إن في ذلك لآيات لكل صبار شكور وإذا غشيهم موج كالظلل دعوا الله مخلصين له الدين فلما نجاهم إلى البر فمنهم مقتصد وما يجحد بآياتنا إلا كل ختار كفور يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم واخشوا يوما لا يجزي والد عن ولده ولا مولود هو جاز عن والده شيئا إن وعد الله حق فلا تغرنكم الحياة الدنيا ولا يغرنكم بالله الغرور إن الله عنده علم الساعة وينزل الغيث ويعلم ما في الأرحام وما تدري نفس ماذا تكسب غدا وما تدري نفس بأي أرض تموت إن الله عليم خبير